let it finish because sometimes it's a little wonky. There we go. Alright, just in case. I'm almost tempted to get rid of me 6. But it does automate some things, so. So, Friendsim. All right. Yep, okay. Things are working. All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, sorry for being late. Decided last minute that maybe I should drink some water, so. Sir, it seems that you've dropped your wallet. Let me get that for you. What is that emo? What? That is definitely an emote. It's like I can just barely see it. All right, let me pop out the chat so I can try to see a little better. All right. It's okay. So from what I'm seeing, okay, person obviously their eyes are bulging. They look a little stressed, but it's like, is someone pouring just the coffee into them? What the hell? All right. So let's see. I have no idea what the emoji. It's so fun. Also, hello, Cornell. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're having a good day. All right. So we're doing volume 7 of Business Flagrantly Illegal. Now I got a blue blood and a green blood. They have their spook shades. I'm not gonna worry about it. To me, they all scare me. Anything higher than yeah, no, any blood color really fucking scares me at this point. So, what counts as a legal business on Alternia? Ever since you were a kid back on Earth, you always held the deep, close wish to one day travel the world. You wanted to see new places, experience exciting new tastes and altitudes and temperatures. Maybe go scuba diving. You never imagined you would actually get the chance. The kind of cool stuff didn't happen to someone like you. Well, you're finally getting your wish, and it's just a totally different world. It's funny how life turns out. When you get back to Earth, well, you don't want to think about that. Who knows if it will ever happen? You've actually chilled out recently, found your place in the universe, drifting from friend to friend, adventure to adventure. It's the only way to live. All right. Cerulean and an olive. All right. Cerulean and an olive. Amelia. You wander to a part of town that seems to have some culture going on. There are a lot of bright neon lights, and you can't read what the sign says, but you can see the arcades, a performance space, and what looks like a movie theater. Perhaps more indie oriented compared to the Molson was you've seen before? As you continue wandering, you come. Oh, give me a second. Sorry about that. It's I noticed the cat's water filter is down. Anyways, as you're wandering, you come across a trendy-looking building with a placard outside that shows a little cartoon doodle of a fancy waiter holding out trays of snacks. You can't read what the words say, but you recognize the intergalactic signal for free food inside. Come on in. Hmm. You get inside and it appears to be an art gallery. It must be opening tonight because there are festive decorations up and a little table offering drinks and hors d'oeuvres. There are many other art appreciators here, and your adrenaline spikes when you realize that most of the trolls milling around are purple bloods. You're not sure if some paintings and snacks are worth the high chance of being maimed when chaotic violence breaks out, but as you're debating the merits of free food versus probable injury, one approaches you. You don't look like my other patrons. Are you lost? Or are you perhaps looking to start collecting? If you're loaded, ignore that first question. Art is for everyone, after all, regardless of your blood color. The four black pupils in her eye glint and sparkle, and you're not sure yet if it's a menacing or friendly sparkle. She grins at you and shows all her teeth. What do you think of the arts? Have any paintings caught your eye? You look around. You don't know much about art, but you are a nerd, and a lot of the paintings in here remind you of scenes from popular movies and games back home. Well, the artwork is stunning, perhaps the best I've ever seen. Troll Mona Lisa, who? Stop, you flatterer. She puts a hand on her hip and winks at you, and you're guessing here that she doesn't actually want you to stop. You're also making the connection that she must be the artist who painted all these. You sense an opportunity for friendship, so you lay it on thick and gush how talented she is. Huh, I thought you looked like a dumbass when you walked in. But you have good taste after all. Let me show you around. You follow Amelia through the gallery, swinging by the table with the free food first. Pretty good by the standards you've come to expect in Alternia. What you thought was wine at first glance is actually Fuego. No thanks. Oh, come on. Don't you want to drink the Fuego? You may have noticed some themes in my exhibited work. I don't love clowns or gore as much as it may seem. That's just what I have for sale here. If you look at my work online, you'll see more of the full range of my arts. But for this fancy gallery shit, Purple Bloods are some of my best customers. Those clowns fucking love arts. They're rich as fuck, and they'll buy anything as long as it's violent enough or features of religious themes. You've seen the kind of destruction and mayhem that Purple Bloods are capable of, so you're surprised that she doesn't seem to mind being in a crowded gallery, so many of them. Most other trolls you interact with have done their best to steer clear of the clown murder cult guys, at least when one of those hate romance relationships isn't on the table. Isn't it kind of dangerous to actively court them for her audience? Oh, sure, they can be unpredictable, and keeping them happy requires some screaming. Occasionally, I have to pretend like I've drunk the fuego and pull some religious verses out my ass. When it's something I can't handle, you can make a lot more money as an artist if you're not choosy about what you draw. Yeah. One of my customers is this blue blood moron who would only ever commission me to draw low bloods and quadrants of other low bloods. Oh no. I've got him convinced I'm giving him a deal on his raid when he's actually paying 5 times what I charge anyone else. My point is, artist key integrity is for chump. If you want to get ahead in the world, give the people what they want first. That strikes you as a depressing outlook on the creative process? Artistic, thank you. But you're aware by now that idealism on Alternia tends to lead to shorter lifespans. And you have to admit, look around the crowd in this gallery, that her cynical approach seems to be working. You tell her that she sounds pretty business savvy in addition to talented, and she winks at you again. Thanks, I know. Because I make bank doing shit like this, I'm able to fund my passion projects. You should really check out my webcomic. Oh? But before you find out what her webcomic is about, she notices another troll that has been sidling up to you. As she approaches, she whips out what looks like a small recording device with a smile. Remelia's face goes carefully blank and she crosses her arms over her chest. And how can I help you? Ah, yes. Hello there, Mr. Mac. I'm with Alternia Nightly, and I must say, it looks like their first ever gallery exhibit has been a smashing success so far. The journalist's syrupy tone and innocuous words that don't seem threatening to you, but you're picking up some tense vibes from Amelia, whose hair ribbon swinging forward in front of her face aggressively. Of course it's a success. I never expected otherwise. Maybe not. But some of those art would have expressed surprise on the timing list. Someone called it bold. And you're currently in the middle of a plagiarism controversy. Or to get a comment on the case against you by Trident Media? Being caught off guard with a question sprung on her, Amelia relaxes and laughs. All of that? That's when they have kind of real evidence I'm violating their precious intellectual property. All the characters I draw and profit from are entirely original, and Trident Media and their legislators are just mad about it because the whole internet knows that my storylines are better than the source materials. Oops, I mean, better than the unrelated creative works that my comic happened to bear superficial resemblance to. Feel free to quote me on that. The reporter takes the quote and scuttles away. Amelia seems unbothered. She can't help but feel concerned for her. Copyright infringement is serious business. Is your new friend in legal hot water? Nah, Alternia barely has any copyright protections to speak of. It's just that little pest Gorjek trying to stir up shit as usual. Coming behind his lawsuit, wouldn't even care if he hadn't gotten involved. No big deal, nothing I can't handle. You go back to following her around the gallery, keeping your distance whenever a purple blood comes up to compliment her on her work. You can tell that despite her confident attitude, Amelia is just thinking about that journalist. She taps her foot and frowns at the paintings whenever there's a lull in conversation, throwing glances at the door that the journalist left through. You know, it's not like Alternia has a free press or credible newspapers. That reporter was probably hired by someone with a grudge to dig up dirt on me. I don't think it was Gorjek. Actually, too obvious. Amateurish. No, this stinks of my competition. The artistic establishment that thinks all I do is fan art and shouldn't be taken serious as an artist. All their paintings are in the museum across the street, and they hate that I managed to put up my own exhibit. Those stuck-out, pretentious, bold scrubs have been trying to sabotage me for so long. She turns to you, her hands balled up in a fist, and the X in her eyes flashing with passion. I've been waiting for the opportunity to strike back at them. If everyone's gonna accuse me of being a thief and a hack anyway, I might as well steal from them for real. But security is tight, and I haven't had an accomplice. Until now. What do you say? Want to help me pull off a risky art heist? I don't like the 3 options. Yes. Remili does one last round in her exhibit, saying goodbye to her patrons, grabbing her bag, which seems to be mostly art supplies, as you head out the door and onto the street. The museum she wants to rob is at the end of the block, in a much bigger, fancier building than the one you just walked out of. All the lights are off inside, and it doesn't have any signs advertising current exhibits. We can do this one of two ways. Follow that journalist and steal the keys if she has them, or break in about them. Let's steal the keys. You would rather walk through an unlocked door than try to bust it down. And the reporter's still inside, turning a corner down the street. You try to imitate Remili's casual yet confident way of walking, like she could blend in anywhere and pull off anything. But despite your efforts to not attract suspicion, you keep getting looks. Not being the same species as everyone around you tends to make you stand out. Shit, this could be a problem. I can put together a disguise for you. Hang on. You watch as she starts pulling things from her bag. She seems to have all sorts of things in there, from paintbrushes to blobs of clay to paints. And you think she might be putting together some fake horns for you from scratch real quick? Before she can finish, you realize that one of the purple blood's about to walk into Remili's gallery staring at you. He looks vaguely familiar, and you realize a little too late when you've met before when he starts walking towards you. Yeah, you. I remember you. You broke into my apartment. Wait, what? It's the same troll that you and Playboi escaped from. You back away as he advances, a lazy grin in his face. Remili glances from him to you and back to him again. What? Wait, was there two good endings for Playboi? Because I thought... Because in the ending I got, we just went to the movie theater. We never went to the apartments to run away, because that would have essentially just made things horrible. So am I already on the bad route then, since this is also taken from another bad route? Like this was the mistake. I think so. I think that's going to be the case. There are not two good endings. So then that means this is taking another bad end, so this is the bad end then. Well, fuck. Looks like I'm not going to have an accomplice after all. Sorry, pal. She hoists her bag over her shoulder and shrugs her hands and, what can you do, Jester? And then she's gone, the big purple blood playing her no mind as she absconds. You want to feel betrayed, but it's hard to blame her considering how scary this guy is. In your heart, you know that you're dead already, but you're not going to accept your fate without attempting to prevent it. You make a mad dash to escape, running towards a skinny alleyway, thinking that maybe you could scamper up a fire escape or something. Unfortunately, your attacker's size doesn't seem to slow him down, and you can hear his heavy footfalls right behind you. He laughs, and somehow sounds dopey and dumb and completely terrifying at the same time. Honk. You make it to the alley, but you fucked up, because it's a dead end, and you don't see anything you could use to clamber to high enough ground. Turn to face him, hopelessness sinking down to your toes. You're scrappy alien. 10 year on, this hazardous new plan is about to come to a messy end. The pearl blood swings his magic club lazily in one hand as he approaches you, not bothering to run anymore. You're dropping to a fighting crouch, trying to think back to your third grade karate lessons for any moves that might be useful, but before you can crush your skulls into... Yeah. But before you can crush your skull in, you see a flash of movement behind him. He staggers, dropping the club as something hits him from behind. As much as I appreciate inspiring my fans, I'm gonna have to ask you not to interpret my art so literally. As in, no murdering. Remili springs off the troll's back after clawing him and rolls to the side, avoiding his swinging first. She grabs for his club, which is almost as long as she is tall. Before she can use it, his next blow catches her below the ribcage, sending her flying across the alley and into the brick wall. She's on her feet again and fast, but you can tell that she's injured, and now she doesn't have the element of surprise on her side. Crowblood turns his back on you as he closes in on Remili, laughing again. You can't let him kill her. Now when she came back for you, but you have no idea how you can help here. Your eye lands on Remili's bag, tosses it aside in the melee, and in desperation you grab a loose paintbrush that rolled out of it. You drive forward with a battle cry and stab the end of the paintbrush deep into the high blood's calf. Violet blood squirts you in the face. He yells and you manage to roll back away just in time to avoid getting smacked. Oh, fuck. The slight stab wound hasn't slowed him down much, but it's given Remili a chance to dive off of his range. And while he's still trying to grab you, she gets a hold of his club again. Oh. She's stronger than she looks. Strong enough to get a good wind up with that thing, and when he turns around, when he turns toward her, she brings it down hard onto his skull. It takes a few more good smashes before the troll finally stops groaning and twitching. Remili breathes heavily, wiping blood splatter off her forehead. She looks up, meeting her eye. You are absolutely positive that this is the most romantic way you could have been rescued. You can't believe she came back and risked her life for you. Don't mention it. I need an accomplice, right? She drops the club and staggers over to you, pausing to spit out cerulean blood. You remember that you took some damage and hurried toward her, offering her your weak human arm to lean on. Is it gonna be okay? I'll be fine. Ceruleans are tough to call, even for a wannabe subjugulator. She tilts her head, looking out the way her blood swirls with large quantities of purple blood pooling on the asphalts. That's actually not bad as an artistic medium. The colors and textures work well together. Maybe that blue blood kid from Chitter is onto something. The one girl from earlier, I believe. Anyway, thanks for having my back with that paintbrush. That took some quick thinking. You make an okay team. I've never killed anyone before, but that kind of ruled, didn't it? You're not sure that you choose those exact words, but you're pretty relieved right now. You might not have the bloodthirsty glint in your eye that Remili does, but maybe you can interpret your adrenaline shakes as euphoric overload or something. Hell yeah, me too. See why people get into this killing business. If I wasn't such a great artist, I'd consider switching careers. But sometimes, when you're good at too many things, you have to pick one and stick to it. So no professional assassinations for me. I'm still determined to rob the shit out of my competitors, though. And you? Now that we've killed someone together, it just makes sense for us to stay partners in crime, right? Your heart leaps at the implications that you want to stick together. You truly do not mind breaking every law in the books if it means she'll be your friend. Nice. Probably don't need to go around breaking every law. I just want to steal some art. Well, maybe we can reschedule the heist for another day. This neighborhood will be crawling with drones as soon as they realize a high blood is killed. You feel bad that this troll attempting to slaughter you ruined Remili's gallery opening. Are you kidding? My customer base loves this kind of shit. My art will give you more of a violence reputation when word gets out that someone died in my first gallery show. That's metal as fuck. You limp out of the alley, supporting Remili with your arm around her waist, and she directs you to the back entrance of her gallery where the two of you can clean off the blood and hide until the drones and crowds are gone. If you don't mind, you can lie low at my place for a few days while we plan this heist. I might as well get some work done while we wait and scheme. That fight was pretty inspiring. You're already my accomplice, so how do you feel about also being my muse? So this took That's a possibility. Most of the Hiveswap around here are cheap rentals, burgundy or bronze at the most. I could take them no problem. I mean, I could take anyone, since that's required just a little more forethought. Kind of meant finding an empty unit, or maybe sulking in a foyer or alien Starbucks. But you don't want to tell your cool new alien friend how to do her job. And there you go again, jumping the gun and claiming friends you don't have the right to. But she did choose you. So at this point, she may be wishing she'd grab some other random stranger's hand. Well, pick one. This was your idea. Ah, jeez. You seriously don't need this kind of responsibility in your life? Nothing good will come from letting you be in charge, but you also don't want her to think you are useless. Just kind of wish she'd tell you what to do and leave it at that. Pick a tall purple building at random. How about that one? Sure, I guess. You know what seems to be a standard shabby apartment building, climbing the lobby steps up to a hallway lined with doors. This could be any apartment on Earth. When instead of letters on the nameplates, there are those colorful symbols. They remind you a little of zodiac signs. Huh, weird. Anyway, all the ones here are red or brown, like Playboi predicted. She listens at a couple doors before finally sitting on one with a red symbol. Wait for her to pull out a lockpick or high-tech paraphernalia, but even just a pin from her hair. Instead, she takes a step back and delivers 2 sharp kicks just above the knob. What? I'm not the goddamn super. You're sure that you're absolutely not judging the way she's running this operation. You don't think you've ever met a mercenary before? Unless you count the guy who tried to hit you up for cash when you were injured? Or the little girl who drained your blood for pains? Or the boy constantly on the prowl for delicious meats? The apartment is dingy, small, and smells like old pizza. Good news. Not that it smells bad, just the fact that there's pizza here. You don't think you could live on a planet that didn't have pizza. That's just beyond the pale. Try to shut the busted door as well as you can. Playboi plucks herself down the couch and pulls out her phone, or what had Skyla called it? A palm husk? She pulls out her palm husk and proceeds to ignore you. That's okay. It's important for friends to give each other space. Take the opportunity to poke around the apartment you're currently illegally occupying. Just generally being a nosy piece of shit. Whoever lives here is a real slob. Dishes are piled high in the sink, and the windows are so dirty you can barely see out them. Something sticky and red stains half the counter. It might be blood, but it might also be Kool-Aid. Fuck. Goddamn. Shitting fuck breath. Something appears to be gone wrong. Playboi is still on the couch, hunched over with her palm husk held close to her face. She types with her knuckles, and you've noticed the log trolls through that. Probably because of the claws. Full of shitter. Everyone's talking about my contract. They got her. She's been cold. Her voice is flat. Her eyes expressionless. She lets the palm husk slip from her fingers into her lap. You stand next to the couch like an asshole. You don't know what to say, and you doubt Playboi is the hugging type, but you really can't stand her looking so dejected. Before you start pitying me, don't. I barely knew her. It's not like we were in a quadrant or anything. It was just business. You stood on the other end of the couch, tipping your head and raising your eyebrow to show you are very ready to listen, learn, and mesmerate. Playboi wraps her arms around her knees. Most pros work for a partner. It's a lot easier when you have someone you trust. Watch your back. It's usually partnered pairs who work together. There's one particular famous olive and gold blood duo. I've lost plenty of jobs to them, but I've never found anyone that I trust enough to make into my partner. Not just a random one-off. Killing a sea dweller is no joke. It's almost totally impossible. Does that mean the guy back in town square isn't actually dead? Playboi looks affronted at the very thought. Excuse me? No. It just means I have a very expensive knife and coat and a very expensive poison and stabbed exactly in the right place. The motherfucker is dead. There's no doubt about it. I don't leave my jobs half done. High caste jobs are my specialty. Most people are too afraid to take jobs higher than teal. Me? I don't care. Low blood, high blood. If you got the cash, I'll do the job. If I did have a partner, it'd make things a lot easier. I'll admit that much. You cough politely into a closed fist. What's this? Something caught in your throat, perhaps? Could be the steady hand of fate, reaching a finger down and testing your gag reflex? You murmur delicately that sometimes destiny steers you in a direction you never thought you'd go. Maybe, just maybe, it has steered her to you. That's forward for sure. You're pretty much an old hand at this by now, right? Polypaw snorts. It's a little watery. She isn't crying, is she? No way. Not a tough assassin like her. You're imagining it. You? No offense, but I only grabbed you because you look so weird and I figure you want to avoid the drones even more than I do. You don't exactly blend in. You can't argue for logic, but a sourness starts in your throat now at the realization that Polypaw had not chosen you for your obvious trustworthiness and friendship potential, but rather because you look like a goddamn disaster. Fair. A very fair assessment. Whatever. You can get past that. God knows you have gone past worse. Like attempted murder. As a good friend recently said, you gotta break a few cluck beast embryos to make a Golbletz. Staring you now, more thoughtfully than before. Well, I guess beggars can't exactly be choosers. But you have to remember. Well, you have to remember you aren't destined to find out. That fate finger reaches down further and chokes you. Keys jingle outside the apartment, but for whoever it is there catches sight of the busted door. What the hell? You and Polypaw lock eyes. Oh shit. Quick flash of silver and suddenly a knife appears in Polypaw's hand. When did it even come from? There's no frames. Outside in the hallway, someone is swearing. The broken door falls inward, and before it is all the way open, Polypaw is up and over the couch, launching herself at the intruders. Shit, wait, you are the intruders. And this is what you're afraid of. You're about to watch your new friend kill some poor low-blood troll. This was a terrible idea. Too bad there's no way to go back in time to make your choices all over again. Yeah, that'd be rad. You wish life was like that. A short, stout little guy with a red symbol on his shirt comes through, but right behind him is a troll so tall he has to duck down to get through the door. Oh, hell no. The giant troll catches Polypaw with one hand. He's got big ram-like horns and a curly purple symbol on his shirt. His face is painted in lines of white and black. Makeup designed to make his face look like a skull. Look, babe. Look at these tiny regular thieves. Polypaw writhes in his grip, clawing at him like an angry cat. He hangs on, giving her a little shake. Shit, you have to do something. But what? You get in that purple guy reach, you're absolutely going to get killed. Try to move to your feet, but your survival instincts are kicking in and you're rooted to the spot. You can't do anything. You're useless. Don't even know what happened to Polypaw's knife. God, you wish you could take some God, you wish you had taken some self-defense classes back on Earth. The high blood gives Polka a wide smile and tosses her across the room like he's lobbing a dodgeball. She lands on her back, rolls to her feet, and bolts for the window. Of course you'd have high blood, mate sprint. The high blood turns to you and sticks out a big gray tongue, and wow. Suddenly you can move your feet again. You throw yourself out the window after Polypaw. You're only one floor up. That doesn't mean one floor more than you would like to be falling out of a building. Your fall is broken by Polypaw, meaning that you got a collection of bony elbows and knees applied to your gut. He bares her teeth at you. Idiot. We're definitely gonna call the drone. We've gotta run. Roll your big floppy body off of her and hustle to keep up as she peels off the street. You throw one last glance over your shoulder to see the two guys hanging out the window. The high blood waves lazily. Polypaw starts out strong, but pretty soon she is limping and leaning on her shoulder. A jagged piece of glass is wedged in her calf muscle. You lean down to get a closer look. You're no doctor, but recently you've become an expert in acute injuries. What the hell? Stop. You want me to leave a blood trail? We need to split up now that we've been seen together. Your heart sinks all the way of your aching feet. God, you've been so sure you had this one on lock. You mentioned half filming yourself that maybe it'd be better if you stayed together. Safety numbers and all that. Oh yeah? Maybe safety for you? This was a terrible idea. Can't believe I ever trusted that someone could have my back. Yeah, let's do another one of your amazing plans. Sounds great. She leaves you at an intersection of streets. Even though she was no longer leaning on you, you neverthelessly feel a heaviness settle inside you. Philosophically, a deep fatigue so intense you want to curl up on the ground. So do you. So for the good ending on this one, it assumes you got the bad route for the other one. Unless somehow it's a mixture of both, where it assumes you still made friends with Playboi, but it somehow wiggles in that you decide to go to the apartment still. Unless it is just the idea that this just assumes that you got the bad route with Playboi. Which I don't know how to feel about. I'm going to assume it's just a blend where you still visit the apartments, but you still became friends with Playboi and went to the theater. It just didn't go down as bad. Oh wait, no, I already did that option. Oh, it sounds risky enough without spending extra time trying to pickpocket some keys. You suggest that if this crime is going to happen tonight, it should happen now. No time like the present. Good point, let's go break into a museum. You scoot casually across the street to a museum on the corner. After seeing this kind of looks your usual appearance draws from passerby, Rooney takes some fabric from her bag and wraps it around your head. There. Now people will probably just assume that you have horns. You're just embarrassed by them being tiny or malformed. Duck into the alcove shielding the museum's back door and wait for me. I'm going to circle the block first, just so we seem less suspicious. As you wait for Remili by the door, the reality of this caper settles in. You've been excited about the heist at first, because who wouldn't be excited for the opportunity to sneak around, steal some art, and stick it to the man? Probably while a snazzy soundtrack played. But now you realize that in the heist movies, they always have blueprints for the place they're gonna rob, and you have no blueprints. It seems like a dire sign. Before you can get too swept up in your worries, Remili returns. Does she have any idea how to get into this place? Because the door looks pretty unbust-downable to you. Yeah, I got some tricks up my sleeves. I've never done this before, but it'll probably work. She roots through her bag until she comes out with several paintbrushes of varying sizes, then crouches down and uses the skinniest one as a lockpick. It doesn't work, but then she selects a different paintbrush with different bristles and uses some of the bristles but bunch together and the lock clinks open. Ha! I'm great at this. I could be an incredible thief if I decide to do that instead of arts. You ever take the time to just sit back and acknowledge how great you are at everything you try to do, and how much you trust yourself to never fuck up when it counts? You hope that the question is rhetorical, because your honest answer is that no, you don't have a whole lot of experience acknowledging how great you are at everything you attempt. Your mental acknowledgements lately have mostly been the opposite of that. Maybe it wasn't rhetorical, because Remili's face crouched down like that for a second, looking at you like she wants an answer. When you manage to come with an awkward shrug, she stands up and puts away her makeshift lockpick, dusting off her hands and opening the door. I guess not everyone could be at my confidence level. Anyway, let's go. While we're inside, much to your delight, you see that this museum has an infrared laser beam alarm system. It looks so cool, just like in the movies. And you're back to being excited. Remili seems into it too, bouncing on the balls of her feet next to you. Interesting, very interesting. One of us is going to have to get through the beams to disable the alarm. The box to do it is across the room there, see? But these lasers are so close together. You can see the issue. Remili isn't that tall for a troll, but she might be too tall to maneuver through these beams. Even if she bends over, it's going to be tricky for her to squirm through all of them without losing her balance or tripping the alarm. But the trolls that designed this alarm didn't have your hornless ass in mind when they thought of the potential intruders. You stoop over a bit to see if you'll fit in. Yeah, sure enough, yes. You should be able to shimmy your way through these beams with minimal torsion. Fuck yeah, I knew I was right to bring an accomplice. Great thinking me. And great high skills you, if you pull this off. You recall what she said about confidence and trusting yourself to not fuck things up, and assure that you've got this. You face the laser beams with your self-doubt shoved all the way down, where it hopefully won't screw anything up for you. Take a deep breath, and crouch down carefully, so carefully, inch your way forward between the wires. It's the slowest you've ever crossed a room in your life. There are a couple of moments when you teeter and almost lose your balance. You're immediately hissing through her teeth behind you at tense moments, but you press on without looking back. And you've done it. You reach the box to disable the security alarm, and you have no idea how you're going to do that. All the buttons are labeled in alien alphabet. Crap. Oh, that's right, I forgot you can't read. Press one that looks like a meat hook, both angry eyes. Then press the one that looks like a meat hook, but it got Kirby's claws. That should do it. That sounds bonkers to you, but you look back at the buttons, and her descriptions of the letters were pretty spot on. You press the angry eyes and the cat claws, and the whole alarm system makes a soft shuddering noise and clicks and shuts off. You are thrilled. You did it. Who knew that doing something right could give you such a rush? This is like the part about Heist where the heroes had to sweat for a minute, but then defeated the unforeseen wrench in their plan. You were certain that there couldn't possibly be any larger wrenches in your plan still to come. Immediately crosses the room to join you, giving you an appraising look of her hand on her hips. Not bad. Thanks for coming through for me like that. Now let's see what we came here for. There's one work in particular that I'm here to get. You follow her through the different galleries, passing through sculpture rooms and oil paintings, till you reach a display of pieces that look inspired by pop culture. The paintings and prints in here remind you a lot of Amelia's exhibit. When you look at her, you can see she's rigid, her eyes flashing and a passionate blue tint in her cheek. I can't believe they call me the hack. That's bullshit. Whatever, that's cool. It doesn't actually bother me, I just need to send the message. They don't want to fuck with me. This painting right here is a direct ripoff of one of my early works. Back when I was naive enough to put my art up for free, without reasoning it could just be copied and someone else get all the credit and the profit. When I learned my lesson, I'll take this so they can't sell it, rip off the rip-off, make something even better and turn it over for a truckload of cash. So grab some painting, and just when the two of you are ready to heist roll out of there, you hear voices at the back door, and what it sounds like a team of security guards coming in. They must arrive to investigate the alarm system shutting down. You're ready to embrace your panic, but you stop hyperventilating when you feel Remeli's vice-like clawed grip on your arm. Don't freak out, follow my lead, and we can still get out of this. You assume that the whole heist is off now that security is shown up, but to your surprise, Remeli doesn't put the stolen painting back up on the wall. She gives your arm one last reassuring squeeze before sauntering out of the room with her head held high, moseying with no hurry towards the front door. You follow her nonchalant lead as best as you can. One of the security guards stops her. Remeli gives him a condescending, slightly confused look. What are you even doing here? My assistant told me she informed all staff that I'd be swinging by today to pick this up. Did you miss that memo? Give me a break. I'm sure it must be easy to miss things, right? Because as a security guard, you probably get so much foreign correspondence every day. Her four pupils somehow give her sneering eye roll extra sarcastic force. She yawns, and her free hand not holding the painting, she flicks some non-existent dirt off her skirt. Security troll, a burgundy blood judging from the sign on his cop hat, looks uncertain and embarrassed. I get it. I understand crossed wires. Since you're apparently too busy to do your job right, I'll catch you up to speed. I'm the artist behind this piece, and I've got a wealthy patron interested in commissioning something similar. Paying this as reference in order to negotiate a better deal. There is absolutely no way these guys will buy your story. The two of you look so guilty, and you still have her yellow sash wrapped around your head, probably looking like an idiot with a head injury. But Remeli's staring down this guard like it hasn't even occurred to her that she might be questioned. You've never seen someone double down so hard on a story that is such transparent bullshit. If you want to waste more of my time and yours by calling a superior to verify, go ahead. He might not be thrilled that this mix-up happened because you can't keep up with your emails, though. The security troll is already wavering, and at the mention of his emails, he cringes. His co-workers behind him shuffle around muttering to each other. He steps back, horns lowered in embarrassment, and waves you and Remeli through with a mumbled apology. Can't believe this is happening. Well, the two of you swagger out of the street through the front door. Legitimate as anything. You don't stop until you've turned the corner. to the next block, and then immediately leans against the wall and laughs, holding her painting happily to her chest. Suckers! Feels good to get away with things, doesn't it? It does feel good, I suppose. Mostly you think you're still reeling. How'd you come up with a story like that on the fly? How did you guess correctly that the security guard wasn't some hyper-organized inbox zero kind of guy who would never believe that he could have missed a message? Romina gives you an odd look and reaches forward to unwind her sash from around her head and stuffs it in her bag. I just winged it, man. You overthink things. My guess they're usually right because I'm a creative genius, but if going after him for emails hadn't worked, I guess we'd have been arrested, and then I talked my way out of that eventually too. Wow, you find it hard to believe that she goes through life so easily. That kind of unshakable belief that she can improvise through anything? Isn't she worried that it'll catch up with her someday? You want the long answer? You want the long answer? It's this. Nope. I super don't. And if you still don't get it, I don't know if it's the kind of thing you can really learn. Picks up the pennies again, looking down the street and away from you. Well, that was a successful heist. Now that I've ruined the competition, I feel inspired. I'm gonna take this home and paint. Wait, hang on. With a sinking feeling, you realize she's getting ready to part, and this friendship might be slipping through your fingers. Sorry, kid. You seem like you're not totally useless, at least. Well, I'm not one for a long-term artistic collaboration. It's a lot easier to take your way out of a tight spot when you're on your own. Peace. Watch her go. Your shoulders sagging in disappointment. You guys stole from a museum together, escaped together, bamboozled the cops together. You could have bonded over your shared transgressions and culpability. Every crime movie you've ever seen has taught you that heists bring people closer together, but there's real differences. Huh. Connie? Conil? Conil? Connie or Conil? Or Camille? Like Camille, but Conil. Right now, your travels have brought you to what appears to be a normal road in an inconspicuous part of town. Not particularly upscale, but not exactly a rat trap either. Just pretty average. Nani? A row of those spiky purple brushes line the side of the road. Actually, don't remember. We'll call her, let's just call her Connie. I'm just gonna assume the L silent. Or it could be like Camille, except Camille. No, let's just call her Connie. A row of those spiky purple bushes line the side of the road. Behind one of them stands a large, fierce troll who's glancing furtively up and down the street. Okay, that's less average. Hey, are you her? What? I mean, are you her? Are you who I'm waiting for here? Well, your first instinct is definitely to tell her that yes, of course, you are who she's been waiting for. Provided she's waiting for a new friend. But honestly, you aren't sure your stick is going to work on this girl. Of course not. Of course not. What was I thinking? This is so infuriating. So late, I'm so bored. Do you think she's coming soon? You don't know who she means, but it suggests that she might be more comfortable waiting somewhere that isn't a spiky purple shrub. Don't be stupid. My client values discretion. I have to lay low. The shrub hardly manages to cover her, and sitting behind it and shouting is definitely not making her less conspicuous. Neither is asking random passerbys whether they are her client. Not that you can talk. Accosting people left and right and dealing and asking them to be your friend is kind of your whole deal. You aren't country. Fellas, is Peak back in? But Peak is back in town. Then who is? Country Lady 453. That almost sounds like... Sorry I'm late, I couldn't... What in tarnation? You know the genteel charm everywhere. Well, my stars, I definitely was expecting to see you around here. What a masterful coincidence. You are incredibly glad to see Skyla. And the lady too. All unkidnapped and everything. You give Skyla a hug, which she enthusiastically returns. She really picks you off your feet. Lady shoves her nose against your neck and gives you a few sloppy licks. Who the heck are you? I have business at this bush. Maybe find your own? Sorry, but I have business your bush has been looking for. Wait, what? You're a country lady? Very same. The name's Skyla Koriga. Pleasure to meet you. I don't think you'd be bronze. I've gotten that before. Oh, God. I've gotten that before, honestly. Also, by the by, this concerns them too. Put your hand on your shoulder. It does? It does? Fair enough. They were there when it happened. They even helped me fight off the varmints who tried to take my Lucis. Right, yeah, you said something about that in your message. I don't get it. What do you want me to do? Right, well, the bandits didn't get Lady, but the other kids haven't been so lucky. Low Bloods have been hit especially hard. I want you to find the bandits' base of operations. I want you to take them out. Permanently and painfully. Connie's mouth moves silently like she is trying to reason through the steps of Skyla's conversation. Then she catches up and a slow grin spreads over her face. Yeah, I like painful and permanent. But wait, you want to get revenge for someone else's Lucis? Why? Well, a few of us got together and decided to do something about it ourselves. Since there's no hope of the heiress or the drones doing anything to stop the bandits. And they all like me as a spokestroll, seeing as how I'm the oldest and least easily shook. Okay, sure. I guess the why isn't important. How much you got? How much you willing to throw down? I doubt any low blood could afford my fees, let alone a bunch of country rusties. Crony, I'm trying to give you a fair shake. I am trying to give you a fair shake. All right. But right now, you're not making the best of impression. Lady starts to growl, and Skyla puts a pacifying hand on her head. Everything's fine, lady. We expected this, didn't we? We were hoping you'd be willing to do it out of the goodness of your blood pusher. Crony laughs so hard that she spits. Skyla winces. You got a pawn disorder? You got a pan disorder? If you think I can take any charity cases, I don't work for pretty smiles. Keep your confidence to yourself, Missy. That wasn't... I didn't mean to say that out loud. Why don't you just go find the bandits yourself? You know, well, I don't have the means. But you do. It'd be a walk in the recreation field for you. If you weren't so nasty and selfish. You fucking tell her, Skyla. Or maybe you're scared. Oh, I'll show you scared. Oh, hell, they look like they'll throw down. You gotta do something to defuse the situation. You do know people, actually. Remember that you are important, a real mover and shaker in the alternative economy. You have a bunch of amazing local friends. Some of them are rich or have giant internet followings or are very, very enthusiastic about meats. The point is, you know people. Wow, that's really generous of you. Offering to leverage your relationships for my sake. I knew I didn't make a mistake trusting you. Well, that's a different story, I guess. Why don't you call up all your fancy friends? Oh, fuck. You don't have a phone? I thought they called it a palm husk. Oh, what? I don't work on spec. I'm only licensed in Alternia. Wait, what? You work on spec? Just kidding, I don't have a license. You explain to Crony that working on spec means doing some work for free in hopes that you are going to be paid later. You don't have an air fryer type ending. You say it's unlikely that the bandits only go after Lucai. And that would be totally ridiculous when there's so many other things in the world to steal. Like money, they probably have just heaps of money in their hideout, and if he breaks in, she can have it all. Skylar doesn't want it, she just wants to save Lucai. You're so dang convincing that you almost convince yourself. I'm not so sure. Sounds like you might be trying to fuck me over. A lot of scandalized gasps were made just how an untoward accusation that is. You are shocked. Shocked. Ugh. Fine. Anything to get away from this stupid bush. You kick the prickly purple shrub so hard it uproots and sails across the street to land on the hood of someone's car. But you're coming with me. I'm gonna hold you to that. And if there's no money, then I'll hold you tighter. No, and squeeze, no. And your weirdly colored eyes will pop out. Oh, hey, can you believe it too? You could definitely do that. But here's your chance. You got tons of success stories proving that forced exposure is really the best way to get people to like you. That sounds just peachy. When do we leave? Crony kicks out another bush. He seems to have an anger management problem. Well, I guess she's managing it. She's talking it out of the shrubbery instead of you or Skyla. We aren't doing anything. You aren't No, I want Skyla. I want her. No. Lady starts growling again, and Skyla looks like she wants to join in. Excuse me? Crony gets up in her face, moving way faster than anyone her size seems like she should be able to. You aren't coming. You'll just get in my way. You're distracting. That mouth twitches just the teeniest bit. That is not what I meant. You keep tricking me. I just meant that you'll probably stop to save some bark beast wrigglers and could get us all called. Skyla crosses her arms and tosses her hair. Fine. I'm counting on you two. So, Crony, when did you fall head over heels for the country girl? Was it the username? Was it when she called you on your bullshit? When was it? You figured out the information gathering stage of the operation next. You've seen heist movies, you know how shit works. But Courtney just shouts at someone at her palm husk for a while, then punches some coordinates into a car that you're pretty sure isn't hers. It takes you to the outskirts of town, past long stretches of cracked concrete and urban sprawl. Not exactly the place you'd expect to find bandits who steal animals. You point this out to Crony, she tells you to shut up. So you do. You leave the car and walk the last few blocks. The bandit's operation is likely not super impressive. It's a long industrial structure that looks like a manufacturing plant than a den of thieves. Besides this, something much more impressive. A sleek black spacecraft. Not like yours. This is the Mercedes-Benz to your banged-up Chevy Malibu. Even before you crash landed, that thing was a hunk of junk. Oh shit. Is that an adult? What, the ship? No, dingus. You follow your frenzied glare and, oh right, the troll beside the ship is taller than anyone else you've seen here. Her skin a darker gray, her claws incredibly long. If anyone you've met so far had been a kid, wow. They all deal with stuff that even adults on your planet don't routine death. Oh wait. They all deal with stuff that even adults on your planet don't. Routine death, dismemberment, and like 4 different relationship dynamics. So if there really are no mature trolls here, then where are they? Wait, hold up. You're saying where you're from you live with adults? Yeah. You all live on the same planet? Sure do. Huh, well, maybe you're tougher than you look. Adults are terrifying. Come on, let's get closer. You and Crony sidle up close enough to the trolls to overhear them haggling over stolen goods. So far, the conversation is too general to tell if they mean the blue side. Damn, they just have globes of steel. Talking back to an adult? I mean, I am great at rushing in without giving it any thought, but I'm not a total moron. The 2 trolls appear to come back to an agreement. They shake hands and heading back into the warehouse together. So what do you think? What should we do? Huh? You? Crony's the expert here. Yeah, no shit. For punching. I'm also good at slashing, but as he always does the thinking and the planning. He's the one with the eye beams and the big thick pan. Don't tell him I said that. Please. You sure you wouldn't tell Asja anything at all? Because you don't know him at all. Oh, right. Azra is a frustrating bulge lord loser who sucks so bad. Also, he's my mate's mate, and we've been together for sweeps. He's supposed to be here, but he's off busy doing some dumb bullshit. So I need you to be the pants in the operation, okay? Please, do this for me. Oh dear. Follow the pirates in the warehouse. Decide to follow them into the warehouse. That way, at least you won't be trapped in a confined spaceship before he comes back out to check on the ship. You get ready to do some James Bond ass shit, ducking behind corners saying cover me, executing some slick rolls down the hallway. You can't really do any of the gymnastics even when you aren't healing from broken ribs. What fancy James Bonds you sure can. Crony doesn't bother with any of that. She just stomps down the hallway towards the first door. Damn, she really has been joking when she said she is more into the straightforward approach. You pick up speed and try to get to the door before she does, just to prevent her from charging in there and getting you both caught immediately. Good thing too, through the window and the door, you see what looks like some kind of break room. A couple of trolls are messing around on their palm husks, and a few more are sitting at a table and playing some kind of game that involves cards, dice, and little colorful shells. Oh, come on, there's not even that many. We can take them. God, you were my partners. You're just dead weights. No real argument there. Polypod told you that most pros work together for a reason. It's much harder on their own. I wonder if Crony would have been so hot to take the job if it hadn't been for Skylar's vibes. Yeah, that's weird. Vibes. They were vibing. You have to do this. You really have to. Crony's already losing faith in you. Or maybe she has no faith in you in the first place. Whatever. You choose a different door at random and go down it, assuring Crony that you definitely know what the fuck you were doing. What? Where are you going? You've been down this road before. With Damon and your meat quest through the sewers, this is possibly slightly higher stakes. But the same basic principle applies. Fake it till you make it. Crony gets annoyed much faster than your other friend if her sub-vocalizations are anything to go by. Damn, you really need to step up your game. Think back on all the heist and infiltration movies you've seen. Maybe find a locker room or a troll laundry room, and maybe one of those has SWAT/hazmat suits. Yeah, that'd be the best plan. Just put on a disguise and wander around like a sneaky fucking... Oh, god damn it. You were so busy focusing on your brilliant plan, you open the door without thinking. Find yourself looking at the trolls playing the card game. So on your random quest through the warehouse, you manage to double back on yourself and come out the other side of the break room. Classic. This is a classic you. You almost charmed by yourself. You're almost charmed by yourself. Almost. There's a frozen moment when all bandits just stare at you and Crony, perhaps taking in the truly staggering innate level you've achieved. Thank fuck. We should have done this from the beginning. You've gotten into quite a few fights since arriving on this planet. Well, most of you stood around while other people fought. But the point is, Crony. She is brutal. She takes almost the same number of bandits that you, Skylar, and Lady did in a quarter of the time. Multicolored blood flies. And God, you know these are bad guys? They've been stealing lucite and selling them, which sucks. But right now, they're kind of a bunch of kids getting massacred. You don't feel great about it. In fact, you think you might need to sit down for a little bit. Your back hits the wall and you slide down to the dirty floor. You're clammy all over. Pathetic. Crony pulls her gauntlet out of the final troll's neck with a spray of yellow blood and a squelch that makes your stomach roll. She notices you on the ground. What are you? Are you serious? Come on. Try to tell her that she volunteered you for this mission herself. She can't slow your breathing enough to get words out. You aren't sure why now is the time you finally freak out. Maybe it's close quarters, or maybe you've been on a journey long enough for this multicolored mess to finally start registering as blood. Maybe you've reached your horror saturation point. Whatever. If you learn anything from this experience, is that the why of things doesn't actually matter. Crawling looms over you, racing gauntlet. She's gonna kill you. At least if you're dead, you can't puke on yourself. But instead of a brutal stabbing, you feel a steady pressure on the back of your neck. Crony pushes your head down until it's between your knees. Take slower breaths, idiot. Follow her instructions. You lightheaded dwell on the absurdity of being coached through a panic attack by a girl who just murdered like 10 dudes. She's surprisingly good at this. Did you freaked out his... Oh, Dajo freaked out his first fight too. Wasn't even bloody. And the little regular passed out. I guess some bloodcasts really are better built for violence. She sits down beside you and pats you on the back. Kinda wish you'd taken the bloody gauntlet off first, but you appreciate the gesture. You're having a hard time reconciling this crony with the one who had snarled at Skylar for being too nice. I'm multifaceted. Also, fuck her. Which reminds me. She pulls her phone out of her pocket, smearing a little blood all over across the screen. Korga, I got your bandits. She talks a lot louder on the phone than she does in real life. Yeah, no shit. Of course I work fast. Sometimes I don't have anyone to slow me down with a bunch of tactics and plans. Ugh. Stay up for your Christmas, sis. Oh, Skylar said something probably witty back at her. She hangs up and glares at the phone. You can tell she really seems to hate Scott. Yeah, she has the hate boner for her. Oh no, it's a black rom. Crony faces goes a fierce shade of green. Don't be stupid. I barely know her. Don't press the issue. You also don't point out the kind of obvious point that these probably aren't the only trolls in the facility. No one who had been haggling with the adult isn't here, for instance. But if Crony forgetting about them means less murdering, you're all about it. There's no way the bandits are continuing their work after this. Crony also seems forgotten about the fact that she came in here looking to get paid and nope, she's looting the bodies. Great. It's a lot messier and takes way longer in real life than it does in video games. And the answer ends up with 5 palm husks, a laptop, some jewelry, and some little squares of plastic you think might be sci-fi credit cards. Whatever, there's barely anything here, but that fight made it pretty worth it. Well, glad it was good for somebody at least. You are just trying to not think about it and maybe get out of here as fast as possible. Whatever Crony wants to do if you're outstanding dead at that point, well, you can just square up out there. Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm not actually gonna squeeze you. It would just be too easy, like squishing a March bug. Fuck yes. Save for being pitiful. I don't have any money anyway. I mean, you are wearing an ultra. Wait, what? I doubt you have any money. You're wearing an absolute robe. Sure. Courtney helps you to your feet. Kind of want to ask if you're friends now, even though the only bonding activity you've done together is combined murdering and comforting, with her doing both of those things and you staying there like a dumbass. But really, you've made friends with worse people. For worse reasons. Oh, here. Why don't you take one of these? She hands you one of the palm husks. Thankfully, it only has a little bit of blood on it. Actually, it might be mustard, like the actual condiments. What? She's giving you a phone? Why? You don't have one, right? I mean, you don't even have any pants. This way you can keep in touch. And you can tell me if you have any more jobs with an excellent violence level. Like this one. Here, let's exchange info. Palm husks are really useful. You can use them to call people and everything. You aren't sure if she's making a joke. Possibly she also thinks you're just an idiot. That's okay. You can deal with that. Because not only did you make a friend today, you got a gift today. Holy shit, you killed it. Write my number. Alright, so... there's no way this ending isn't like gonna be referenced later because now we have a phone. And I'm assuming that's gonna be important later. Search the spaceship. Here's your chance to prove you're totally capable of making non-disastrous choices. Your reason to be best to check out their spaceship cruise while it's empty, since who knows how many people will be waiting for you in the warehouse. Yeah, that works for me. Alien WhatsApp earned an air fryer. Oh yeah, because I just got the fucking ending of you don't have an air fryer. Alien WhatsApp. Yeah, I can sell government secrets and also get weird solicitations by people. You expect that crony would have agreed to anything you suggested, just as long as she didn't have to make the decision herself. What a mood. As the kids say these days, also, hello Maxwell, hope you're having a good day. As kids say these days, big worm, big mood. There are so many tough decisions in your life recently. You worry that the space will be locked and your great plan is going to be over before it begins. But the door glides open easily and silently. Crony leads the way, and you let her. You don't know what wild security measures the troll ship has, but you do know that you don't want to find out. The inside is normal enough. A pilot and co-pilot seat, a central panel covered in more of the squiggly Eternian language, and a bank of sleeping screens. Other than that, it is remarkably bare of any homey touches. Not like your ship, which, in your humble opinion, was very nicely decorated. You got some pretty dope posters on your wall. More to the point, there's absolutely nothing of value here. Crony can also tell. Ugh, there's no point to being here. It's just a cruiser. All this stuff is definitely going inside the warehouse. Okay, fair. You have no idea what you're doing, and you are sick of pretending that you do. You wish you could just take a breather, honestly. The strange, compulsive desire for more friendship is still there. You're pretty exhausted. Let's just... Fuck. Oh wow, that's kind of forward, Crony. You aren't even at the friendship stage yet. Oh, calm down, you gigantic tool. I mean, oh fuck. There's an adult troll and we're definitely gonna die. That's why I said the fucking word. That's why I said the fuck word. Oh, fuck, that is a big troll. Crony is pretty big. She's the biggest troll you've met so far. If someone fed you truth serum and put a gun to your head, you might even describe her as thick. This troll is fucking terrifying. And she looks pissed. Or maybe that's just how her face always looks. There are teeth. Lots of teeth. Who told you you could be in here? I didn't order any ugly wrigglers. Who are you calling ugly? Courtney immediately slaps a clawed gauntlet over her mouth, apparently remembering who she is shouting at. The adult troll growls. And you don't mean she sounds angry. It's not a husky, sexy metaphor. She's really fucking growls. A deep, guttural animal noise. Staring into a pair of merciless cobalt eyes, you experience a pulse of crystalline fear. Blank and cold, you're pretty much constantly braced for death. That doesn't mean you're looking forward to it. Instead of sprinting forward and rending you to pieces, the adult just stares at you. Damn! Adult monster troll. Take a picture. It'll last longer. Last thing you remember is those blazing eyes, and even that fades and you slip away. When you thrash back in consciousness, Crony is right up on top of you, pinning you to the warm, thrumming metal of the spaceship. She doesn't look angry, scared, or anything. Her snarling, expressive face is utterly blank. You say her name a couple times, but she doesn't twitch. She squeezes down harder, grinding the bones of your wrists together. Someone is swearing. Oh fuck. You straighten to see around Crony's head. The adult troll is seated at the pilot seat and the console is lit up. You realize what his thrumming in the wall menu means. The ship is moving. You see the sickly green gray of the Alternian night sky, and your stomach does a disorientating leap of mingled elation and dread. You can't believe you're actually going to space and finally heading somewhere besides this fucking hellhole of a planet. Of course, that's how you felt when you were first leaving Earth, and you have no idea where this troll is bringing you. And your new prospective friend is just sitting here like she's hypnotized. She only acts when you struggle, and then only to slam you back against the wall. You just randomly fell asleep, didn't you? How the heck did that happen? The adult starts talking again, but she isn't talking to you. No, I'm on my way. No more delays, I promise. Blue shipment is on schedule. No, don't worry. Everything is... Sirens scream and screams splash. The ship bucks wildly like a sailboat hit by a wave. The adult troll fingers fly over the consoles. No? What the hell? I don't know. It's like I've lost all control of the damn thing. Fuck! Grony grip on you loosens. She pulls away and shakes her head back and forth, shaggy hair flopping all into her eyes. What? What the hell? Where are we? She sounds small and lost. The adult troll doesn't turn around. She's too busy yelling at a mayday into her comm and trying to wrest back control on her ship. The whole thing shudders again, and yours and crony heads bonk together. Ow. The ship bucks again. It feels like engine failure, and more like a gigantic baby is shaking it like a rattle. And you're scared, sure, but you're also swashed in a sudden and unexpected flare of understanding and competency. Because this isn't the first time this has happened to you. This is exactly how you crash landed Alternia in the first place. You were just passing by, minding your own damn space business, when your ship decided it wanted nothing better than just snap its reins and toss its swallowed head, and head you straight for the unfamiliar planet below you. You push yourself to your feet, trying to tame your nausea as the ship rolls. Grab Crony's hand and pull her across the compartment to a glowing green sigil on the wall. You don't know much, but you know how absconding. But you do know how absconding when everything starts falling. You don't know much, but you do know absconding when everything starts falling to shit. There we go. Hey, what are you? Let go of me. Absolutely not. If you do that, you will not be able to be friends with her because she'll be dead. With the strength born of desperation, you pull her into the escape pod with you. We won't fit. You will. You do, but it's uncomfortable as hell. Crane your neck at a very uncomfortable angle. You manage to reach around Crony and press the big red button on the wall. An alarm sounds and you hear the adult say, "What the?" Before the door slams shut and the escape pod rockets out into space. You shut her back down to her Alternia. Crony's weight crushing your delicate ribcage. Poor ribcage. You're surprised it hasn't sued you for damages yet. Wow, that sure was a shit show. Hardships bring people together, don't they? That's def a thing. Unfortunately, you judge from Crony swearing and muttered death threats that this is not one of those times. Okay. So something's going on. So it seems like you're allowed to come to Alternia. But if you try to pass by or leave, something drags you down. Because the adult troll is able to bring the ship to the planet with no problem. At least it seems like everything was smooth sailing. Things are going to according to plan. But leaving was a different story. And this might be the case of fates or destiny, because apparently that's a thing in this universe, wanted our character to be on Alternia. So potentially either something is making it so ships can't leave, or something is making it so that the character cannot leave the planets. Not yet, at least. Yeah, it's one of those two things: destiny holding us to us, and then anything that tries to make us leave, or just anything. If we try to leave, we will be brought back down forcibly, or there is just something going on in the atmosphere of Alternia that won't let ships leave. I'm still sad that Playboi. It might not. Again, it might be the thing of actually, no. Because assuming that Playboi, we went to the apartment and everything. So again, it might have been a thing we did a job of her like the next day and we went to an apartment. Or like we're still friends with her though, I believe. I do hope we get some clarification on that. I'm assuming we did do the whole movie thing and became friends with her. And it wasn't the case of like, oh no, that's like the only friend you don't canonically make for some reason. All right, so next is volume 8 of Stresses, Song, and Otherwise. And we'll be doing that tomorrow. And then just for those that don't know, there is going to be a journal game plan. So it looks like from my projections, we will be finishing actually 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah. So we'll be finishing Hiveswap on around the 17th of June. And then the next stream will be Hiveswap Act 2. And then I will be doing the Discord stream of Hiveswap 2, reading that aloud, and all of its apparently interesting writing choices. I won't say reading everything because of course if it goes too far, it goes too far, and I won't read that. But we will be I will say this, we'll be experiencing it together and you'll see my reactions to it. I don't know how long Homestuck 2 is. So that will be a thing. And then at some point I'm gonna get the Family Mystery stream up and running. I might try to do that. Because we might do past requests, we might on stream. I guess while I'm doing Homestuck Discord streams, we can do the Family Mystery streams. And then when we finish Homestuck 2, I can then stream past requests on the channel. And I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces every time past request pops back up. So that'll be interesting. Because I definitely would like to know what the timeline is. How is everything connected? Because apparently Homestuck 2 takes place during all of this, or slightly after Hiveswap Act 2, so I'm assuming it is 1990 something, like ED or whatever, EC. And that for some reason, troll and human society aren't mingling as much as they should, because the ending of Homestuck proper, it just showed like we were living with the chess people and everything. Because this might be a chess person. Well, I'm pretty sure it's a chess person, and they referred to themselves as human. So there has to be, so in my mind, there has to be some like still lingering elements of like the cultures combining, but for some reason the trolls went elsewhere. And that might have been the thing of, because trolls are just different enough from humans, it's better to like they don't meet each other until later. Then again, you don't really know the family situation because the dad's just gone. It's just another Jake situation. I am excited to get answers to this. Also, I need to remember to read back up on the whole epilogue thing with a mess. I might need to also save that message as well. Oh no, the epilogue is after Friendsim. Okay. Okay, I pinned that too. So I can easily get back to that. So question. Is the epilogue technically canon? Because I remember that there's pieces of content for Homestuck that weren't made by like certain parties, but was made by the community and are considered at this point canon. But like, was Homestuck made by the parties that were meant to continue the work proper? Or was it fan made? Or I mean, it could be fan made that was then deemed canon, but if I'm reading the message right, it's on the same levels of rating as Homestuck 2. All right. Things to figure out later. But for now, I will bid you a duel. So, thank you all for stopping by. I will try to figure out how things will roll for next time, but definitely tomorrow we'll be doing volume 8. That I can say for sure. So, thank you all for joining. I hope you enjoyed another stream of Hiveswap Friendsim. These are fun. I'm enjoying them. I just wish I'm starting to my throat isn't starting to hurt as much when I'm reading aloud, so that's good. I'm getting more used to it. Yes. Thank you all for coming. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.